Reno County Community Corrections' mission is to reduce recidivism and enhance public safety by providing evidence-based supervision and interventions to assist clients in achieving long-term positive behavior change.
The mission of our agency really is affecting public safety. That's at the heart of what we're trying to do. We look at assessing people early in their supervision period to determine what kind of things they need, what kind of a risk they are to the community, what kind of risk there is that they're going to reoffend.
Individuals convicted of a felony could be assigned to community corrections instead of jail time. Once assigned, a supervision officer will meet with the client to assess their needs and refer out for resources if needed. Over 50% of cases involve substance abuse. Mental illness or trauma could also be a factor. Staff monitor compliance with court orders through frequent check-ins, drug testing, and collaboration with treatment providers, employers, and the person's family and friends. Officers also help teach new ways of thinking, reinforce positive behavior, and sanction negative behavior.
And we really want to address those crime-causing factors. We want people that are a danger to the community, we want them incarcerated. That's just the bottom line. The majority of the people we serve, if it's an addiction issue or mental health issue, the majority of the time, they're not so much a danger to the community as a danger to themselves, or they're creating bad habits within their life. And we really want to address those things so that we can have this long-term benefit.
Community corrections saves money for Reno County taxpayers as well.
Really at the heart of it, we're looking at a cost avoidance mechanism. So what I'm talking about is, rather than putting people into jail or in prisons at a really high cost, you're looking at $40 a day for the local jail, you're looking at $35,000 a year for imprisonment, or a few $1,000s for us. It's really this cost avoidance. So rather than putting people at that high cost into incarceration, we can serve these people out in our community for a much better cost to the community with a lot better outcome.
Community corrections also provides intensive supervision for juveniles, which requires a different approach.
Youth numbers are pretty low, but what you're really working with a whole family at that point. It's a little different in that the whole family a lot of times needs services. That's not always the case, but the majority of the time, even if we take a child out, let's just say we take a child out of the home and we do some great work with them and really get them, really address their behavior, and then we take them right back to the same environment, you're going to see the same things happening. So unless we really change that environment, we're not going to see the progress that we really want to see with some of these youth. And really the goal is this long-term, even adults and juveniles, long-term behavior change. That's what we're focusing on, changing their thinking, changing their behavior, so they're not continuing in this system. Especially when you look at juveniles, you really see some great potential for affecting behavior.
Community corrections is much more successful in the long term than incarceration.
If we incarcerate someone, they're going to be incarcerated for about 11 months and they're going to come back out. You really haven't done anything to change their behavior. They're going to come right back to the same community. They're going to come back and they're going to be around the same people and have the same thinking. If anything, quite honestly, I think it's gotten worse by being in prison. So we have an opportunity here to actually be better stewards of the money we receive and be way more efficient with those dollars by giving them the treatment up front, rather than really just housing them at a high cost.
Unfortunately, lack of funding is an issue for community corrections, which is currently facing a staffing shortage. This reduces the time available to spend working with the community and one-on-one with the clients.
We are staffed for about 75% of what we need. And that's just for when we're looking at the number of officers we have. There's certain things that officers have to do. They have to do data entry. They have to do paperwork. They have to go to court appearances. So those things are kind of locked in. But when it comes to those other things that we do, that's really where you'd see your gains in that funding issue. So you could make a lot more progress with the people we're serving. You could do a lot more work out in the community if you had that manpower.
One successful program officers are involved in is drug court. They make recommendations on positive and negative reinforcements and celebrate the successes at graduation. Probation itself has changed greatly over the years.
The goal is to change people's lives. It's not just to make sure they follow the rules. The real goal is to really help people. You look at people that are suffering from addictions, that have been dealing with this for a long time, and they want the help. They want to make changes in their life, but a lot of times they just don't know how, and they just can't do it on their own. And so some of that accountability and some of that influence that we can have, that's a great opportunity for people to help other people change their lives. And you see that with officers. I think that should be a core motivation, is really just this opportunity to help other people make significant changes in their lives.
For more information about community corrections, visit renogov.org.